Doors on the truck. In general, it just depends on what you want. How big the jobs you're going to take on. Two doors, short bed, are easier to get into tight spots. Four doors with the two smaller back doors. It's nice because you have a back seat. You can tilt the driver's seat back a little bit. You're plowing for long hours. Four full doors. It's nice in the summer, but it makes the truck big. It's long, which is okay if you're doing bigger parking lots and things like that. But if you live in a small town, you're going to be doing a lot of older driveways, smaller houses. You may not want to get four full doors. Okay, so wheels. Four wheels are. you need four wheels. What I'm talking about there. You don't need the one. You don't need the trucks with six wheels. They call them dualies. On the back wheels, there's four wheels. Those are good for huge jobs, for big parking lots and things like that. But just to get started, four wheels are fine. It's got to be four-wheel drive. I've seen videos, guys say they do it with two-wheel drives. Maybe if you live down south, southern part of the country, you don't get a lot of snow. But up north, where we get a lot of snow, you definitely want four-wheel drive. For me, I put my chains on right away. Truck don't move. And even just a little bit of snow, it just don't move. So a little bit of snow, a little bit of ice, I put the chains on. At least I can go. I don't have to spin the tires and burn out the transmission. Gas, not diesel. Diesel costs are too high. I've watched a few videos on it, and it may be okay for bigger jobs, but I'm thinking if you're new at this and you're watching this video, I would go with a gas engine. Try and find something with a good interior. Sometimes the driver's seat along the edge may be tore. That's common. That's from guys sliding in and out. I've seen that on a lot of pickups. So that's no big deal. But if the interior still looks good, fairly new, that means the previous owner took care of the truck, and he probably didn't beat up the truck plowing too, because he knew he was going to trade it in and he wanted it to be in good shape. If the interior looks beat up, the truck was probably abused. I wouldn't buy a truck that looks beat up. I know for mine was 11, 12 years old, and the interior still looked new, except for that one little edge along the seat. One good tip, I've seen this in a lot of videos, guys will check the trunk for rust, and that's how they can tell if it's been in a flood. So I suppose you could do that with a truck too, to see if it came from down south, a truck from a hurricane. Is the windshield cracked or chipped? A good windshield is going to cost you $500 and up. I'm pretty sure you get a ticket for driving with a chipped windshield, so it's got to be fixed. You might be able to get a used windshield at a junkyard, but most likely you're going to end up buying a new one. That's a judgment call. Side windows are no big deal. You could probably fix that yourself. Just order it or go to a junkyard and get it. In my area, we have these junkyards called pull apart. and we can go to the junkyard and take the part off the vehicle ourselves. So then it's cheaper. So, okay, so let's see, they have quite a few places, quite a few states here. You might even be able to go here and get an old truck. You know, if you don't mind a project, if there's a fairly decent truck there, you may be able to buy the whole truck and fix it up. Okay, so you can see the F-250s must last. So you can see they must last a while, because the newest one's a 2006. Okay, so let's see here. They have a price, parts pricing. Show all. So you can see this is what they sell their stuff for. Let's look up a windshield here. Windshield, $34. So, you know, that's presuming it's in halfway decent shape. Yeah. You got to go take it off yourself. You got to get it home somehow. Yeah. Can't just stick it in the trunk, right? Throw it in the back seat. I think I had to put a back windshield on my Taurus. So somebody threw a small battery through it, a lantern battery, and I think it was $450. That was back in the 90s. So. Okay, so always get the Carfax. Carfax should be free. Most dealers these days are giving them for free. If it's not free, you know, I'd just leave. You know, there's some reason that they don't want you to see it, because most likely they have it. They just don't want to show it to you. Get the VIN number of the vehicle, and then call the manufacturer. You know, call Ford in Detroit and give them the VIN number before you buy it, and they can tell you if there's been any recalls, or if all the recalls have been done on that vehicle. It's no big deal if there's been recalls, as long as it's nothing major. Most of the time the recalls are something small, something that can be fixed. If it's a major recall like engine fires and things like that, I wouldn't buy those vehicles. It's just too there was some major problem. So check the web for recalls and other problems. Like if you're planning on buying a certain vehicle, do a Google search or a Yahoo search, say 2005 F-250, and see what type of problems have come up with that vehicle. Not your specific vehicle, but that make and model and year in general. Something that not a lot of people know is, if the repair wasn't reported, it won't be on the Carfax. So, like if they wrecked the vehicle and had it fixed at a small shop, that small shop may not have reported it to whoever gets the reports for the Carfax. I don't know exactly how that works, but I've heard that if the mechanic doesn't report the repair, then it won't be on the Carfax. So always take Carfax with a grain of salt. And then you can search for vehicles online. There's many different websites that do this now. I just like Auto Trader. That's the one I've been using for a while. So if you go to autotrader.com, and then this guy here, it says more search options. Okay, so then you get this page, and I'm going to say within 100 miles, I just want to see what's out there of this zip code, and then you can say used, and I'm going to say under. See, if I want to go 1099, I'll say under 11,000. And you can pick these here. You can say truck, but I'm going to say no older than 2008. So that'll be 10 years. And I'm skipping over this part and this part, and I'm just going to specify here. And you can do multiple searches at the same time. You add another vehicle here. Okay, and then if you wanted to, down here you could type in Plow. Click search. It's showing you your search items here. And then this part here, I always change this. I'm going to say list them with the lowest price first. 25 items per page. It's only showing me one here. So here's a 9,000. Here's a 2010 for $9,000. So it doesn't look like this one has a plow, but he's probably got it listed here as would be good for snow plowing. But I don't see anything on the front here. So just for the sake of the video here, let's say within 500 miles. Ooh, still nothing under 10,000. So let's bump this up to 20,000. Okay, so here's one. This one looks like it's got a front part for a plow. Here's one with a plow. Here's one. So it looks like the going rate's about 15,000. $20,000, 2010. So see, that's already 8 years old. So here's 2009, 15,000. So you see that truck looks fairly new. Good tires. I don't see any rust. Interior looks new. Okay, so that just gives you an example of what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying here is, now that winter's coming to an end, there's probably going to be a lot more of these coming up. You know, as guys, they need to make their payments. Banks might take them back. The bank might sell it cheap. So, you know, you have to read the description here, see who's selling it. So let's see, this is coming from a Lincoln dealer in Connecticut. So in general, a Lincoln dealer probably won't sell a piece of junk. Four-wheel drive, 8-cylinder, gasoline. See, right here's the VIN. Clean Carfax. Sometimes I think you can even see the Carfax online. Plow, automatic. Okay. Okay, so that's just an example of how to search for a vehicle. So I'm thinking, you know, towards spring now, you'll probably see a lot more coming up. The dealer probably has this one priced high because he's hoping somebody will buy it and snowplow this winter. But maybe during the summer months, the price might come down some. So. Okay. So I'm sure all the other car websites work about the same. That's just one that I happen to know about. I bought mine here. This is a truck dealer. This is a truck dealer, west side of Cleveland. And I checked the other day, they didn't have any plows. So let's just run through this. Oh, okay, here, Ford. You know, I'm not saying buy a Ford. You know, GMs, Chevys are great. You know, I just bought a Ford because that was the one I found that was the best price. Ford, let's say under 15. $19.99, 2007. Let's see if we can find something with a plow. Like I said, I looked the other day and they didn't have none. You know, last year or so, me and my buddy went and checked them out, and they had probably 4 on their lot. At least 4 or 5. We did a video on it. There's something about Ernie checks out a snowplow or something like that, and some of them on their lot they didn't even have listed on their website. So I think they just take them as trade-ins and they want to get rid of them. You know. Okay, so some of these points are some of the important points, especially for the younger guys just buying their first vehicle. You know, don't rush. You know, always think about a purchase for at least a week or so. You know, Of course, you might miss a good deal, so be prepared to make a good decision in case you do find the truck that you want. Sometimes they might let you put a down payment on it. You may be able to put $100 down on it to hold it, so you can think about it. But that's only if you're really serious. You just want to think about it overnight, a couple of days. I think when I bought mine, I saw it during the summer on their website, and I'd been watching it for quite a while. Then they brought it down to $999, $9,900 something, and that looked like a good price. And I was dragging my feet, and I was just waiting for it to come down even more. It was like 12 or 13, and then they brought it down to 9. And right after the first year, it went back up to 12. So as soon as I noticed that, I called them right away. I said, "Hey, what's going on here?" And the salesman checked with the owner, and he said, "Oh, they just lowered it because they wanted to get it off the lot before the first of the year, so they didn't have to pay taxes on it." So after the first year it didn't sell, they put it back up to the regular price. So I told him, I said, "Hey, I'll take it for $9,000 if you sell it to me at that price." He went back, he checked with the owner, and the guy said yes. So that's what happened to me. Okay. Something else that you can do is you can go to the bank and get pre-approved. Tell them you're thinking about buying a truck, a snowplow for business, so you're going to be making money with it. And they should be able to approve you for a certain amount, say like 10, 12,000 or something like that. It's up to you on the actual value. If it's your first time purchase, I wouldn't go too much, but it just depends on how brave you are. Start putting some money away now. Put $100 away and save for your down payment. If you can, save up a lot and just buy it cash. Right? If you buy a $5,000 truck, it's going to cost you like $6,000 or $7,000 if you put it through the bank, because the bank is going to charge you interest. Okay. You walk in and buy it cash, it's going to cost you $5,000 in tax and license plate, I think they call it. So, if you're working and you can save up that money, do it. That way you start out with no debt and you don't have to pay the interest. Sometimes you can trade in an old car, and that works as a down payment. But really, what they're doing is, like, it's a $15,000 truck. You give them an old car, piece of junk, right? And they take $500 off. They would have taken that $500 off the truck anyways. So you're basically giving them the car for nothing. One time, my father, he actually traded in 2 cars at the same time and bought a new car. And he just wanted them, just take the cars off my hands. I don't want them. He didn't want the hassle of having to bring it to the junkyard or trying to sell it. Just take them. What's good to do is make a deal at the car lot first. Get them to come down as much as possible. And then later on, a day or two later, then say, "Hey, I got a car I want to trade in." See if they'll give you something for it. Sometimes, if a car is really bad, the car lot won't give you anything for it, but they'll take it. Like I traded in a car a few years ago that once they saw it, the guy said, "We can't give you anything for that, but we'll take it." And he goes, "The only thing we'll do is we'll just take it to the junkyard." So which was fine with me. I just didn't want to deal with it. Okay, so the main thing here is you can call the bank and get pre-approved. So you know if you have to put it through the bank that the bank won't turn you down. Okay, so insurance.